The last clock in or clock out is coaching in today's climate is harder than it's ever been. Are you clocked in or clocked out of that?
I'm clocked in.
That it is harder?
Yeah, that is a little bit harder. Why? One, all right. So like you guys referenced it earlier, we didn't have to do it. Like when me and Brandon played, like we were pretty much our own trainers. Like we learned from playing against older guys in like the park.
There you go.
Or at different gyms. Like they were our teachers. So our teaching was really learned through experience and failure, and playing with older guys and messing up, and then figuring it out, then messing up again, and to finally on game point when they swing the ball to you, and you're ready to, you feel confident enough to knock down that shot.
Right.
So now, and me even being this, I train a bunch of kids, right? So there's another element of coaching that's outside of just a parent.
Right.
So now you got to deal with parent or parents, family, and trainer, and making sure that whatever that this trainer is teaching these kids aligns with what you're trying to do as far as building them up as a player, from an individual aspect and from a collective. And when you think about a lot of skill development, nobody really works on defense.
No.
It's all about offense, right?
Nope.
Yep.
So, which I actually do. I do offense, but I also try to focus on defense, especially with kids that I know when I go see them play. That kids that I work with, that you're struggling on defense because you're taking bad angles.
Yeah.
So it's teaching them how to work smarter. This all playing 1-on-1 against pretty much like-minded competition, and being able to have controlled environments where you can help them grow and develop. So when they play a top level kid, they know what that looks like. The other aspect of coaching that's tougher is social media.
Yeah.
And being able to
That's life in general.
Well, it is, but it's really tough when, and even I'm gonna say even from this standpoint, I'll go a different route that people don't think about. Okay, I've won. My team has been successful the last 2 years. You don't think I know that there's probably coaches or other AU coaches that are in my kids' DMs trying to get them to go different places?
Oh yeah, 100%.
So you have that aspect. I'm pretty sure, and that goes on all over the place. I recruit kids that go to different public schools because I see that they want a different situation that can provide more exposure, and I'm able to give them that visibility that other coaches can't, or the other pro programs can't. So the recruiting landscape is different with social media. There's a lot more distractions. There's COVID, which caused a lot of for a lot of kids who didn't have a season last year, created some anxiety, some confidence issues that affected a lot of these kids' mental health.
Mental health,
Yeah.
Stuff that we were told when we were kids, man, suck it up.
Some of them still need that, but it's
Yeah,
different.
no, for sure. I think a lot of it is, it's not, I wouldn't even call it tough love, but it's just understanding how to be tough-minded during adversity.
There you go.
And being able to handle adversity. That's the one thing that's different in this era. Is a lot of these kids aren't used to going through adversity and finding a way out of it.
Trust me.
So
I've seen it up close and personal. We talked about this, man.
yeah. So I think kind of working through that and understanding coaching is a lot like parenting, a lot like teaching. And I'm now a parent, a young parent. I've taught in the school system, and now coaching, and they're all very similar from the aspect of we have a bunch of different kids with different personalities. I can't treat every kid the same way. I love them all the same, but her personality might need a little bit more of a tough love, based on her situation with her life.
Right.
This kid you might need to be a little bit softer with her and, listen more, to what she has to say. Another kid, you might have to, Just be honest with them and blunt, because that's what they're used to.
Yep.
But again, it's all still a part of love and respect, but it's just respecting the kids where they are at that part, at whatever aspect they are in their life, you know. And so it's just different, you know. I mean, I have girls on my team that are sensitive, that you can't really get on, yeah, you know, especially in public. You got to do that in private.
Yeah.
And I have kids where I can openly be, you know, honest with in front of the whole team. And for some of the other kids need to see that I can get on my best player. So there's a method to my madness, you know. So there's a lot more, you know, psychology involved. That it's not like it wasn't. I mean, again, you can't reinvent the wheel,
Right.
but it's just different. Like there are now. Like I was at. I went to go see George Mason, their women's team practice earlier in the season, and they have a mental coach, a mental health coach on their staff now. That wouldn't, like, who would ever have thought to have a mental health coach? No, for a lot of us, shoot, our mental health coach was whatever CD we had, in, you know, the Walkman. You know, so if it was Big one day, Pop the next, or whoever, you know, the point I'm making is, you know, we didn't look for solace in other people. Like, you know, that side of sports psychology was not apparent, not even like 10 years ago.
No.
So, you know, for those that are interested in getting into psychology and love sports, that might be a really good field or a niche that you might want to look into.
Definitely a need. There's
As far as a career path,
there's a need out there.
it's crazy how much, you know, these kids, you know, are distracted or influenced.
Yeah.
And you got to find ways to kind of manage that without it being, you know, an issue with like your team, and kind of messing up the foundation and the culture that like you're trying to build.
Yeah.